And what is up, my magic miscreants? Risen Dragon here with yet another fun deck tech for you, and today we're going a little bit more mainstream, a little more net deck. Yeah, we're looking at Esper Legends, or Legendary Esper as I am calling this build, and this is a deck that revolves around white, blue, and black in the legendary creatures that go with it. So the main purpose of this deck is basically to get Raffine Scheming Seer. He's our big cog up and running. So let's go through and see what we got. We have Skrelv Deflector Might. Again, this has Toxic 1. It cannot block. Tap a Phyrexian or a white mana and tap it, and another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color until end of turn. It cannot be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. So it does have a little bit of protection. Any other creature that we have. We have 2 Syncopates because we want to keep stuff off the board. We are running 3 Thalia, Garden of Thrabans. Again, non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. We are running 3 Rona, Herald of Invasions. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, untap Rona. You can draw a card and discard a card if you tap it. And for 5 and a Phyrexian or black mana, you can transform her into Rona Tolarian Obliterator. When a source deals damage to Rona, that source's controller exiles a card from their hand at random. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield under your control. Otherwise, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Ouch! We're running some spot removal. 2 Go for the Throats, 3 Infernal Grasps. We're running Raven Man. Now, this is an interesting one that I saw in a few builds, because we are running some decks with Connive, or cards with Connive. These 2 in particular. This does come in handy, because if at the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a 1/1 Blackbird creature token with flying, and this creature can't block. Plus, we can make our opponents discard a card if need be, and we activate that only as a sorcery. Now, Goldforge Thopteryx. Okay, this has flying and lifelink, and each legendary permanent you control has Ward 2. This can get annoying if you have multiple ones out there. Raffine already has Ward 1, and it has flying. We know what Raffine does. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Okay, we are also running Toluz, Clever Conductor. When it enters the battlefield, it connives. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile them from your graveyard. When it dies, put the exiled cards into your hand. Okay, we're also running 2 copies of Voidrend because we need to destroy stuff. Running 2 copies of Sheldred the Apocalypse. We know what this bad Larry does. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. We're also running 2 regular Sheldreds. When it enters the battlefield, it each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature, I apologize, it's late, or Planeswalker. For 4 and a black, we can exile it and return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. We can only activate it as a sorcery, and only if opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. And then it becomes the True Scriptures. For each opponent, destroy up to 1 target creature or Planeswalker that player controls. Each opponent discards 3 cards on the next chapter, and then finally number 3, we put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control, and exile it and return it to the battlefield. Evil stuff. We're also running 2 Invasions of Fiora. We pick either destroy all legendary creatures or destroy all non-legendary creatures, and when it gets defeated, it becomes Marchesa, Resolute Monarch with Menace and Death Touch. When it attacks, remove all counters from up to 1 target permanent. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't been dealt combat damage since your last turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Pretty fun deck that we have here. We also want to look at our land base here because we do want to run this. This is Plaza of Heroes, and it's got a lot of functions. Okay, we add 1 colorless mana, or we can add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana to only cast a legendary spell. We can add 1 mana of any color among legendaries permanents we control. For 3 and tap, we can exile it, and target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Let's look at our sideboard. We're running Go for the Throat, Infernal Grasp, a few of those remaining there. 3 Sunfalls, 2 Syncopates, 3 Loran's Escape, just to give us some hexproof. This does come in handy, by the way. Running 3 Dissipate, and 2 Enduring Angels as well. Enduring Angel just gives us hexproof, and our life total can be reduced to 0, or it becomes 3. So some really fun cards here. Again, it's more of net deck than what we're used to. Usually I do some quirky builds, but this one's a lot more net deck. I ran into a lot of this in casual. We're going to play some ranked with it to try to get into gold. Okay, and if you're new to my channel, we do a best of 1 and then we do a best of 3, just so you can see how the deck functions in either of those environments. So without further ado, let's get to the legendary Esper games. We are against Vohumana for our best of 1 matchup. We're going to keep this just because we've got some options with Go for the Throat, and we now have Raven Man. So, yeah, got that. What do you have? Vohumana. Mono green? Mono green. Infernal Grasp. Do we take that? Nah, we just do this. I don't want you ramping into stuff there, kid. And then I think after that we put down Thalia, maybe? Jewel Thief, huh? And now we gotta be careful on this, because they could have a Tamio safekeeping. Put down Jewel Thief, though, that's an interesting one. Rafine is a good option, because it has Ward. Ulvenwald Oddity. Oh my. Well, that's interesting. You know, just block that. Okay. I think this is gonna get Tamio safekeeping. Yep. It is. Okay, well, that's pretty bad. Be in a little bit of trouble here. Get rid of the Thalia. So now that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with that. Ascendant Pack Leader. Okay, well, Sheoldred is always a good option. I think we just hold up the attackers. We're gonna have some stuff get through, but Ulvenwald Oddity, that does not transform quite. Okay, we'll go to the give you a bonus best of 1 then. We are against AP Solar, or App Solar, for our best of 1 matchup. The land base is a bit too slow here, because those are both tap lands. We are on the draw, though, so... yeah, I think we're going to take a risk here. We're going to keep it. Mono red. Good to see you. Okay, boom. Alright, that helps. It's not ideal, but it helps. Because actually now we can get down Raven Man or Rona. And then Rafine, and we're in pretty good shape. Maybe. We'll see. They do that. Okay. That's a thing. Nope, we don't do that. Rona works. You got the Rona. I'm guessing she's gonna get abraded. I'm guessing there's an abrade or some sort of spot removal going on here. Oh, we shall see. Got a Blast's Forge, eh? Interesting. Oh, okay. I see what they're doing. And, you know, whatever. I'll just do that. Boom. Just do that. Just do that. Just do that. Actually, we're going to tap you. Draw a card, discard a card. You know, just get rid of another Rona. And we'll do this. Yeah, we'll take some damage. That's okay. And no attacks. I want to hold this up. It's got ward there, kid. You can get rid of my Rona. I mean, you can get some damage through. If I get a land, you're in maybe a little bit of trouble, but yeah. See what happens. Speaking of seeing what happens, does AP Solar or App Solar decide to give us a play here? What do we do? And actually, we can... Okay. I'm wondering if they've got something up their sleeve here. So I'm just going to let it go. Because more than likely what they'll try to do is they're hoping that I block... And then they try to... So they'll cast Electrostatic... Something... Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's rough. We could be facing a lot of damage here. Okay. Yeah, that is one of those things I was worried about. Just draw a card and discard a card. Because this way what we can do is, hopefully we get into... Didn't get what we needed, but hopefully we get a land on this drop. If not, we can go into a Skrelv. We can tap Rona again, actually. Do a Skrelv and then a Raven Man, maybe catch a land. And then I think we do have to block. So, yeah, we can block Raven Man. We can use as a chump blocker. A glorified chump blocker, but a chump blocker nonetheless. You do have a Sawblade Scamp here, kid. That it's begging to be used. So, okay. Go for the throat, eh? Well, I think we do this first. This down. And we'll tap that. Okay. Do that. Okay. And let's swing with Raffine, just because we need to find some land here. AP Solar, you gonna act on something here, kid? Ah, yes, we get the land. Alright, now let's ditch a Shieldred. And now that's gonna become kind of beastly, but we shall see what happens. This is annoying. Urabrask's Forge, I think, is one of the more underrated cards in the meta right now, because it's so quirky and you can kind of jam it into a like a Boros build and all those things, especially if you have that one that produces the extra cards. Is it Elish Norn? I think it is. Not Elish Norn. No, Mundrak. That's the one. Mundrak. The one where you, if you put down tokens, there. Okay, there's the damage. And we just do this, junk, and boom. Okay. We could be in business now. We are going to have to, unfortunately, I think, get rid of Rona. If they don't do it for us. You know, your Sawblade Scamp can ping us there, kid. So I highly recommend that you do something along that line. But we shall see what happens. Come on, AP Solar, do your thing. You know this is going on YouTube. So. Oh, okay, interesting. Alright, so they go play with fire. And then they ping me with that. They had to calculate it out. Yep. So I think we're dead. I think they've got something. They got something that goes to the face. Or they just, yeah. They just do that. Okay. And they hope that they let across the Rona. Okay, that happens. Okay, down to 2. Did you top deck a Play with Fire? Nope, you top decked that. Good game. Alright, let's go the best of 3. We're against BNTRNR. Bunt Runner, maybe? Or BANT Runner? Who knows? They're in gold. We are in silver. And this one, alright, we draw into another land and we're in pretty good shape. Because what we do here is... yeah, let's do this. So, are we against a rainbow build? Meaning... It's like a raven, man. Are you gonna counter me? How dare? Oh, impulse. Okay, so... let's see what we're up against. We do have a Void Rend there as well, so... Huh. Alright, well, here's what we're gonna do. Let's do this, just to see if we can get a counter. Okay, so they're gonna do that. That's alright. That's okay. I wonder what kind of deck... This is an interesting one. This is a BANT build. Union of the Third Path, huh? Well, I'm gonna draw a card. Because that's what Fateful Absence does to you. Do that. Shieldred. Boom. Okay. Well, we know they don't have a ton of mass removal at the point... or, not mass removal, but removal at that level, so... Doink. Okay, well, we can't really do any... ending. Do I want to try to get... well, I have 2 Rafines, so let's try to get a Rafine down. Devious cover-up, huh? Okay. That's fine. Because I have another Rafine. Though my Shieldred is not going to be as effective. Like, the actual Shieldred is not going to be as effective. That's okay, though. Do you have removal? No, you don't have spot removal, but you do have Sunfall. Oh! Teferi! Nice to see you there, big guy.
No matter the time or place, I'm ready to win.
Alright, guess what? It's getting a go for the throat, and you are going to
devil?
find yourself against a Void Rend. Do I want to do... No, I don't want to do that. No, here's what I do. They're tapped out. I do Rafine instead. You go face. You go there. Boom. Boom. You know what? Let's discard that. Boom.
I'll have to try again.
Union of the Third Path, huh? Okay. Well. Not special. Okay. We have a few Shieldreds, so... let's try to get this down. I have not seen any counter... Well, yes, I have. We've seen the Devious cover up. Disdainful Stroke. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Let's do that. Got them. All right. Cool. So at least 3-1 with this deck. I'm doing it. Yeah, 2 and 3 is meh. Now I know what that nickname is. That's BANT Runner. And we're going to keep the same lineup of cards this time around. So I think we'll be okay there. Got a lot of fun decks. I am on vacation for the next 2 weeks. So super psyched about that. And going to try to do what we did a few weeks ago. Or not a few weeks, about a month or two ago, where for April vacation, I did like a video per day. This is good. I'm going to keep this because we've got Raven Man, we've got Syncopate. We got some fun stuff. Put down that. We do have Infernal Grasp as well, so. Tolu is always fun. I'm going to hold off on the Raven Man. I'm going to hold off on that. And I gotta hold off on the Raffine because you have Union of the Third Path. You're getting syncopated. You do not get to gain life on my watch at this point, sir. Or ma'am. Or neither. Let's see. Oh, I can't do Tolus. So I gotta try Raven Man. No, I think we hold off on that. I think we hold off on that. Plaza of Heroes is always fun, though. Now, do we try to get down a Raffine? You know what, let's try and... If they have a counter, let's force it out of them. Okay. Raven Man. Thinking of, like, the Pearl Jam song. Nothing, man. Fateful Absence. Okay, cool. So I get to investigate at some point. That is totally okay. Let's go to the post-mortem. Alright, so, as you saw with this build, this is a very flexible build. Very much a Risen Dragon type build. A lot of the Esper builds that I have seen have been incredibly... you know, they use Denic to protect your graveyard. I've seen Adeline out there as well. Those ones are a little bit more mainstream. This one's just a little bit off the beaten path, but not too far so that it's like... But anyways, I think with some of the spot removal that we have in this build, it's really, really a little bit more flexible. We're also got, you know, syncopates and... yeah, and some dissipates in there as well. So, if you like what you see, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and as always, my magic miscreants, may all your draws be godlike, may all your spells hit the board. Risen Dragon is out. Enjoy the rest of your day.